Welcome to Valley of the Sun Real Estate Show. Anything and everything you need to know when it comes to your real estate needs right here in the state of Arizona. Hosted by Jayson Bates, the lender who has been known to take a turn down and turn it around into an approval.
Thank you, Arizona, for taking time out of your day to listen to what I have to say. Who am I?
Allow myself to introduce myself.
I am Jayson Bates, the host of this show, Valley of the Sun Real Estate Show, and you can reach out to me by emailing the show at valleyofthesunrealestateshow@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Jayson, JaysonBates. You can catch me on Google+, Facebook, pretty much any social media, LinkedIn, wherever. Please connect with me. I'd love to hear from you and love to have you as part of my community. Today's episode, I'm going to be covering 4 facts that should get you off the fence to purchase a home here in Phoenix, Arizona. You know, recently, 2015 here, it's now March 2015, and I am seeing a lot of activity when it comes to home buyers and their uptick in their enthusiasm about purchasing a home. Now, we can attribute that to maybe the millennials getting more satisfied or getting more comfortable with their position in their job. Maybe it's the housing formation that I've spoken of earlier in a podcast earlier. If you haven't heard that, please check that out. There's many different factors. Maybe it's the interest rates that are contributing to it. But I think that there are some still, I just spoke to somebody just last night, as a matter of fact, who still just was on that fence on whether or not he should purchase. And the big contributing factor holding him back was the fact that he didn't feel that he could credit qualify. There's still a lot of misinformation, in my opinion, out there as to whether or not somebody can credit qualify for a home loan. And I'm telling you, if you feel like you're in that position, you need to call me. I can help you and walk you through that process. Yes, you may not credit qualify today, but I can get you on a path to home ownership if that's what you want. And these 4 facts should help you get off that fence and call me because these things, if we wait too long, you're going to miss the boat. And I can't say this or stress this enough. Back in 2006, 2005, 2004, I spoke to a lot of clients back then during the boom in our country of real estate that simply got priced out of the market. And my fear is that could happen again. You know, in 2008, we had the biggest recession since the Great Depression, right? So a lot of incomes haven't really rebounded to what they once were. And so that in of itself, with the pressure of prices going up on homes, especially here in the Valley, the possibility of interest rates increasing, these factors could contribute to you being priced out of the market. So you need to get yourself in a position where you can purchase a home. And that starts with you calling me at 602-573-3101. I'd love to help you and love to walk you through this process. But let's get right to it here. I want to get over these 4 facts here that should help you get off the fence to help you purchase a home right here in Phoenix, Arizona, Valley of the Sun. Fact number 1. Equity opportunities are floating away. And what I mean by that is that, 2010, 2009, we had just a lot of inventory on the market. A lot of inventory. We still saw prices kind of decreasing in value here in the Valley, but there were a lot of inventory. There was just more inventory than what there were for buyers. Then in 2013, 2012, we started seeing some activity as far as people coming out of the woodwork and starting to purchase these homes because they felt that was the bottom of the market. And that truly was. 2013 was probably truly the bottom of the market, 2012 here in Phoenix. And then in 2014, in 2013 as well, we saw a lot of demand. And then it really dried up the inventory. And the inventory really was pretty tough about 6 months ago. It was really tough to find a home. The homes that you could find here in the Valley were pretty beat up, or they were, backed. Let's just say less than desirable areas, whether that be backed up to a certain, freeway or road. Maybe it wasn't in a desirable neighborhood. Those properties just weren't very attractive to the mass public. Now we've seen the equity or the inventory somewhat stabilize, but there still is, relatively speaking, there still is a little bit of low demand or low inventory. We've got sellers that are reluctant to put their houses on the market. They might be around that bubble of whether or not they have to short sale, or maybe they can just break even on the property. We've also got a change in attitude, in my opinion, as to real estate here in the United States, for that matter. A lot of people are buying and holding. They're not taking the properties and flipping them as quickly as they once were. Although I am starting to see some investors starting to release some of their inventory out there. So that is a good sign to help with those inventory numbers. But we had a lot of people, as you probably all know, here in Arizona that just from all parts of the country came here to Arizona to buy up some of this property because it was so cheap to purchase a property, especially for the West Coast. I mean, Phoenix really is one of the cheapest places on the West Coast of the United States to own real estate. And so that really got a lot of investors kind of interested in the Phoenix metropolitan area, the Valley of the Sun. So with that being said, equity opportunities are flowing away. What I mean by that is that we're not seeing the double-digit increase in value year over year on properties. So if you thought you were going to buy at the bottom of the market, those are pretty much gone. Those days are gone. And so right now we're seeing, what we consider to be a little bit of a normal increase in value of homes, or increase in the value of the home. So the average nationwide is between 4 and 6% annually on a year-over-year basis for increase in value. We're just above that. I think we're about like a 7.4% value year-over-year increase. However, that can change, especially if the demand starts to rise a little bit, which we're starting to see. We're starting to see that demand come up just a little bit, and that's, I think, just people coming out of that, what I've referred to in the past as the penalty box phase, where they're coming out of that short sale, that foreclosure, and now they can credit qualify because they've met the standard for the waiting period of those economic events, if you will, in their past credit history. And so those are coming into the market. We still got the first-time home buyers out there. And we've got the housing formation where people moved in with mom and dad, and now they want to move out from mom and dad and into their own home. All those factors, in addition to, not to, say the least here, or mention the companies that are coming here to the Valley. I mean, Uber just bought a $40 million building down in downtown Phoenix, tech company that does the cab service, if you will. Kind of controversial company, but they did invest here in Phoenix. We've got Apple, who's invested here in Phoenix. We've got now Microsoft, who's investing here in Phoenix, and they're bringing jobs to the Phoenix market. And so with that comes more people and more demand for real estate. So all those factors could increase the prices here in the Valley, which as a homeowner, that's great. But if you're not a homeowner and you want to purchase a home, that's not so good. So, and that leads me into the second fact here, which is dream homes could soon be priced out of reach. And that's simply because of the demand. If we don't have very much inventory, yet the inventory that is out there, there's a lot of demand for it, then we're going to see a price increase. In which case, then we could see above 7% appreciation. Some analysts here in the Valley have said, upwards of 10% year over year from in 2015, 2016, and in 2017, we could see that trend somewhat continue. Because remember, we're still about 30% below what the peak was in 2007. So we still have some upward movement here on home values here in the Valley. And so with all the jobs coming here and more demand for those homes, we very well could see some increase here in the Valley. And to that point, I am seeing some more investors returning back here to Arizona to purchase some homes. So, sometimes if you follow the investors, if you follow kind of what the sentiment is there, when you read in these newspaper articles or online or whatnot, you'll see that a lot of investors are returning to the Valley, which is a good indicator that values may be increasing or getting ready to increase. So if you're on that fence, I would suggest that you give me a call. Number one, just call me, 602-573-3101, or email me. You don't have to talk to me. Just send me an email. I'd love to hear from you, like I've always said, at Valley of the Sun or realestateshow@gmail.com. Number three fact to get you off the fence. So if you're on that fence, you need to call me. But this is the number 3 fact. This year's raise, your raise that you may get at your job, probably won't be enough. Now, again, what I mean by that is the prices of homes going up. We've got with that price increase on homes, that generally means the economy could be stabilizing, which it is overall. It is stabilizing. It's not where I believe it needs to be for a solid foundation, but we're making progress, and that's all we can ask for at this point. And with that, with those prices increasing and the higher demand on homes, the raise, because the price increases, isn't probably going to be enough. The rate of your pay raise may not be enough to keep up with the increase in value of the homes. Now, to that point, President Obama recently just announced that HUD would be reducing the FHA monthly mortgage insurance payment, or premium, if you will, from 0.135% to 0.85%. And that's all in an effort to, number one, be more competitive with conventional financing, because I've always said conventional financing is a better loan if you can put the 5% down and you have the credit score and you credit qualify. It's a better long-term loan than FHA is. And the MI is much cheaper on a conventional loan. Well, now with that reduction in that MI that HUD has announced, that has made it more competitive with conventional financing, and we've seen a lot of demand now for the FHA. Remember, FHA, one of the major differences between FHA and conventional is that FHA has shorter waiting periods for a foreclosure, bankruptcy, or short sale. And they're a little more lenient when it comes to debt-to-income ratio and overall credit profile. So with those factors, that helps a lot of people get into homes. Well, if people can get into homes and it's a little bit more affordable on an FHA loan, that means there's going to be more demand, and more demand means higher prices. And so with that being said, your raise that you may be expecting this year may not be enough to compensate for that higher price. Not to mention that if rates go up, which they are anticipated to do as the economy stabilizes and grows and everybody becomes more confident with where they're at, then generally interest rates follow. Now, they've said they're not going to raise the interest rates until the unemployment is at 6.5%, which I think we're very, very close to that. I think we're at 6.7 or something like that percent. So unemployment nationally. So with that being said, there is a good possibility that this year we could see a rate increase. Now, I don't anticipate rates to go through the roof high, but for every percent that goes up, it makes it that much more or less affordable for you to purchase a home. So very important that if you are on that fence and you're waiting on that raise so that you can purchase a more expensive home, that I say get into the home now. I don't always suggest to settle for a home. I'm not suggesting that at all. However, if you can find something that you can live with or live within, then it's something to consider. I talked to a young lady earlier this week. She wanted a $200,000 home, but she didn't make that much money. And she felt that $200,000 was the price range in which she needed to be in to get the amenities that she wanted. That's simply not the case either. There still are affordable homes out there. It's just aligning yourself with the right realtor to find those homes. They are out there. Believe me, if investors are coming here to purchase homes, they're not paying top dollar for homes. They are paying less money for homes. So with that being said, there are affordable homes out there. And so you just need to align yourself with the right realtors. And that starts with you calling me, and I'll hook you up with one of my team members here to get you into the home of your dreams. 602-573-3101. The last fact here is buying stabilizes your budget. And, I hear this a lot. And, it's true that a 30-year fixed, your payment's not going to change unless the taxes or the insurance goes up, and then your payment would change. However, the budget still encompasses your electric bill, still encompasses your gas bill if you have gas to the home, all the other utility bills that associate with the home. And SRP, I think, just announced a 3.4% increase in our utility bills. So your budget doesn't necessarily just stay the same. So you do have to anticipate that budget change. But it is a lot more stable than what it would be if you had rent. I mean, we've seen rent go through the roof here over the past 6 months here in Arizona. And on a mortgage, it is a little bit more stable, a little more predictable. I should say it's not really stable, but it's a lot more predictable. But there are maintenance issues that you have to cover with the home when you own a home. Painting maybe, maybe a new roof, maybe a new AC unit, all those sort of things that can go wrong. Those are the things that you need to really consider when putting your budget together to purchase a home. So it's not that when you get a home, that your budget is fixed. It's not ever going to be fixed, guaranteed. But it is a little bit more stable than what you would get on rent. So don't assume that just by buying a home, it stabilizes your budget. That's not the case. It does minimize your exposure to some of your life altering events, but you don't have to move as much. I mean, you can find the home of your dreams. You can be there for the rest of your life. That's something you can, visualize yourself growing and growing old in and raising your family and that sort of thing. Where rent, you could end up having to move, not because of choice, but because of you're being forced to move because of your landlord for one reason or another. So in that sense, it does stabilize your budget, and it makes it a little bit more predictable. So with that being said, those are 4 facts that I think that you should take a look at within yourself. And I hope that by you analyzing within yourself those 4 facts, that you can come to a conclusion whether or not you should purchase or not. Purchasing is not for everybody. I'll say that, and I've said it forever. However, if you're on that fence of saying, well, maybe should I buy or shouldn't I buy, or I don't know, and you're just kind of second guessing yourself, hopefully this right here will help make your mind up of whether or not you should be purchasing or not. So hope you got some useful information out of this. And like I've always said here throughout all my shows, if you want to reach out to me, I'd love to hear from you. Please email me at Valley of the Sun Real Estate Show @gmail.com, or you can call me directly at 602-573-3101. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you once again for taking time out of your day to listen to what I have to say. I put a lot into the show, and I hope you get a lot out of the show. So until next time, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to what I have to say, and I look forward to hearing from you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Jayson Bates, NMLS 220798, mortgage banking license 0119128, equal housing lender, sound effects provided by soundwave.com.